5. Your handshake. The handshake, that almost automatic moment that happens when you meet someone. It seems such a banal gesture, right? A formality that we do without thinking much. But what few people realize is that this simple handshake carries a ton of information about who you are. You know, when you shake someone's hand and feel that firmness, that security that almost makes you think, wow, this person knows what they're doing. For a firm handshake can be much more than just good manners. It may be revealing that the person is outgoing, confident and open to new experiences. It's almost as if, with that squeeze, she was saying, I'm here, present, and I'm not afraid to show who I am. On the other hand, there are those handshakes that are almost like squeezing a wet sheet of paper, you know? Those who have hardly strength, who seem hesitant. When you meet someone with a handshake like that, you may be facing a more shy person who may not feel as comfortable in social settings or is trying to hide their nervousness. It's not the rule, of course, but it is as if in this simple gesture she was letting slip a little from internal insecurities. And it's crazy to think that all this happens in a millisecond, even before any word is said. 6. Whether you show up on time. Have you noticed how some people just can't make it on time? No matter how they try, the clock seems to be the enemy. And if you are one of those people or know someone like that, maybe it's time to rethink this story of chronic retardo, because there is much more behind it than just the bad management of time. What's funny? This constant delay does not always mean that the person is irresponsible. Often it's just because she believes she can handle everything, and, let's be honest, who has never felt like that? Now, if you're on the point team, you probably have a completely different approach to life. Maybe you're more organized, focused, or even a little more anxious to make sure everything happens on time. This does not make you better or worse, just shows that your relationship with time is different. So, the next time that friend of yours gets late again, instead of getting angry, think he's fighting his own mind, trying to balance 1,000 tasks while the clock keeps running. Maybe his delay is the price of trying to embrace the whole world at once. 7. When you get something for yourself. You've ever gotten into that situation where you're going to get something for yourself, like a snack, and suddenly think, is anyone else hungry? Do they want something too? It sounds like a silly thing, but in reality, that kind of thinking says a lot about who you are and what you value. Thinking of others while doing something so simple for yourself, like buying food or getting a coffee, is a clear sign of empathy and consideration. And look, it goes way beyond good manners. When you give that basic touch, like, hey, do you want me to get something for you too? What you're doing is showing that you are aware of the needs of others, that you are not only focused on your own little world. This is pure empathy, it's putting yourself in the other's place, even in the little things of everyday life. Now, if you never have this attitude, it may be that you are letting something more about your personality shine through. Not thinking about others, especially in simple situations like this, can reveal a more selfish side, that genuine lack of concern for the well-being of others. That's it, even if it is not intentional, it gives a very clear message, I first, you later, if it gives. It's funny how small gestures can paint such a big picture about who we are. It may seem harmless, but these little interactions from day to day, like asking if someone wants something when you're going out to eat, can make a huge difference in how people around you see you. Because, at the bottom, the issue here is that kindness generates kindness. And when you care about including others, even in the simplest things, you are cultivating ties, showing that you value the company and the well-being of those around you. If you never stop to think about it, maybe it's time to pay more attention. Not because you have to be a gentle superhero, but because this small act of consideration can turn an ordinary situation into an opportunity for connection. And in the end, who doesn't want to be surrounded by people who really care? 8. If you subtly put others down. You've been in that conversation where someone makes a comment that at the time seems harmless, but then you think, oh, wait, did he mean it? You know what I'm talking about, right? That criticism disguised as praise, that, you did it alone. I never thought that I could do it. For, this type of comment, known as a subtle way to diminish the other, may seem small, but carries an enormous weight. And the craziest is that often, who does this does not even realize how toxic it is. This behavior is a kind of crooked way to try to rise, like, if I lower the other, I stay above. But in the end, who acts like this only shows insecurity and a tremendous lack of respect for people around. And, look, that's quite different from constructive criticism, see? A constructive criticism comes with the intention of helping, to add, but these comments disguised as concern or curiosity only serve to make the other uncomfortable, questioning their own value. And of course, when someone does this on a recurring basis, what the person is really showing is a huge difficulty in dealing with their own self-esteem. It's almost as if the only way she feels good about herself is to diminish who is around. 9. Where you look when you're drinking. Have you ever wondered what your simplest habits can say about you? Like the way you look when you're drinking something. It seems an insignificant detail, right? But believe it or not, this movement can reveal a lot about what is going on in your head at that moment. For example, if you often look over the rim of a glass while taking a sip, this may be a clear sign that you are a more outgoing person, someone who likes to keep an eye on the environment, who feels comfortable in the middle of people and who, usually has an optimistic view of life. It's as if, even in the act of drinking, you are connected to what happens around you, always open to what comes next, kind of, I'm here, ready for whatever comes and goes. Now, if you are the type that looks inside the glass while drinking, things already change a little bit. This habit may point to a more introspective personality, someone who lives much in the world itself, analyzing its own emotions and thoughts. You know, that person who is always thinking about everything, who gets lost in daydreams and who seems to have a deeper connection with himself. Yes, this look inside the glass is almost a perfect metaphor for how these people tend to look inside themselves, seeking inner answers before anything. And there is also the case of who closes his eyes while drinking. Ah, this is a very strong sign that the person is dealing with something emotionally heavy. Closing your eyes at this moment may be a desperate search for relief, a way to turn off what is going around, as if that sip was a temporary break from the internal mess. It may be discomfort, it may be a stress that she does not want others to see. In the end, even this little detail of where you look while taking a sip says a lot about how you navigate through emotions. So the next time you're drinking, whatever it is, think about this: where are you looking, and what might that be saying about you? And if you liked it, don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel for more insights like this. Your opinion is super important, so comment below what you have found out about yourself and even about the people around you. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Have you ever thought that your simplest gestures can reveal secrets about you that you don't even know? Something as basic as the direction you look at while drinking can tell a complete story about your personality. If you look over the rim of the glass, shows your confidence, but you are fixed in the bottom, maybe you are immersed in your emotions. When does he close his eyes? You may be dealing with something deep that only you understand. Were you curious? What you'll discover here can change your view of yourself, and it will be so impactful that you'll want to share it with all your friends. 1. How often do you check your phone? Have you ever thought about how many times you check your phone during the day? Yes, we do it in the automatic, sometimes without even noticing, as if it were part of the body. No, it's not just about tech addiction. This can be directly linked to your mental health, anxiety, and even stress levels. I'm not exaggerating. There are people who, when they are anxious or stressed, they cling to their cell phone like a life-saving float, rolling the feed, answering messages, or just seeing the screen flash, as if that would calm the internal whirlwind. It's as if the cell phone becomes a refuge, a quick distraction that offers temporary relief, but in fact only masks what is really catching inside. It makes sense, right? After all, it is so easy to be distracted. Avoid facing things when the screen of the phone is there, ready to distract you at any time. 2. How you treat service staff. Have you ever noticed the way people treat waiters when they are in a restaurant or the cashiers when they are in line? It seems a silly detail, but man, that says a lot about us. It's not just about being polite or rude, it's much deeper. Think with me, when you are there, dealing with someone who is providing a service for you, it is one of the moments when your patience and your kindness are really tested. The waiter delayed the order. The food didn't come as you asked. Is the queue in the box taking longer because the person in front is rolling? These are the moments when the true face appears. If the first reaction is to explode, kick, puff, or even be ironic, you can be sure that it says much more about you than about the situation. And, look, I'm not talking about just being polite to be good on the tape, it's about real empathy, you know? About understanding that person is there, probably working at a pace we can't even imagine, and that the least he deserves is respect. Now, if you treat these people badly, with disdain or impatience, it may be a clear sign that something else is going on inside. It is as if these small interactions of day to day are the mirror of our emotional state. Who treats the other in situations of stress, where it is not so serious, is showing a difficulty in dealing with their emotions, in controlling their own impulses. And worse, it is revealing a side of the character that often stays hidden when everything is fine. 3. What type of shoes you wear. Now, tell me, have you ever stopped to think that the shoes you wear might be screaming things about who you are without you even realizing? It sounds strange, but there is a study that points exactly to this. The type of shoe you choose every day can reveal hidden details of your personality. Like, you know that old comfortable shoe of yours, which seems to be hugging you when you put it on. Yes, not only does it say that you value comfort, but it may also be sending the message that you are a kind person who prioritizes being good to yourself instead of worrying so much about appearances. Now, if you are the type that always wear brand new shoes, super well cared for, this may be showing that you have an anxious vein there, a need for control, that everything is perfect, aligned, almost an obsession with order. I'm not saying that this is bad, but, let's face it, it's interesting to think how something as simple as what you put on your feet can reflect what's going on in your head, right? And more, the researchers went deep into it. They looked at how people rate each other based on just the shoe, believe. They put some pictures of shoes for the look and made participants draw conclusions about age, income, even personality traits. And, surprisingly enough, people have hit it several times. Worn shoes, for example, may indicate someone more relaxed and quiet, while super clean and new heels can be linked to someone who cares a lot about the opinion of others and feels that pressure to always be spotless. So, next time you're going to choose the shoe of the day, take a good look and think, what is that saying about me today? The answer may surprise you. 4. How often do you naturally make eye contact? Have you ever stopped to think about the strength that has a simple look? Seriously, the eye contact, or lack of it, speaks much more about you than you think. We usually think it's just a matter of education or habit, but in reality, what is behind how, and when, you make eye contact is almost like a secret code of your mind. It's this: when you avoid looking into someone's eyes, especially in more serious or emotional conversations, it can be a clear sign that something is going on inside. Maybe you are feeling ashamed, nervous, or even going through a storm of emotions that you do not want to show. Who never, right? Sometimes, looking into someone's eyes is like opening a window that shows you exactly what's going on inside you, and for someone in the middle of an emotional hurricane, it can be too uncomfortable. But on the other hand, there are those people who make eye contact as if it were an art, almost a weapon of social seduction. They look you directly in the eye, without hesitation, and at that moment it is as if they have control of the situation. This type of person tends to be more confident, self-assured, even socially dominant. Not for nothing, research shows that the more frequent eye contact, the greater the perception that the person is powerful and full of self-confidence. It's not just a matter of being comfortable in a conversation, it's almost as if the look is a reflection of the person's mental posture. Who looks at you head-on is not afraid to be seen, read, interpreted. And that is pure power. So, next time you're in a conversation, pay attention. If you catch yourself looking away, it may be that you are hiding something or that your emotions are dominating you. And if you are looking directly into someone's eyes, maybe you have already drawn the power that it brings. Eye contact is an invisible dance, and knowing how to use it can totally change how you navigate the world.